Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders, a great millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. It's the word vainglory. It says worthless glory, undue pomp, or show, vainglory. So worthless glory. And yeah, why would you want to get your glory first anyway? You know, our Lord needs to get his glory first. It says undue pomp or show. Vainglory. Vain means devoid of real value, idle, unprofitable, worthless, void, invalid, feeble. Vain. Vainglorious, boastful, swaggering, boastful, pomp, undue pomp. What's pomp? Pomp, ostentation and display, especially on parade. Pomp, magnificence, solemn procession, display, escort. Literally ascending, to send, worldly display, vain show, worldly display, vain show, pomp. I'm waiting for it to say proud, feeling of arrogance. And this is what's happening in Israel. This is a lot of you Israelites, man. Feeling of arrogance and vanity, usually paired look at that, with pride, man, pride. Okay, pride. Humility. Quality of being humble. See, there's a huge difference. Man, so much going on. So many Israelites are very proud. And you know, it takes you back to the fear of the Lord, man. Humility, man. Humility, quality of being humble. And what's gonna humble you? Fear. Fear will humble you. Fear be getting, it'll calm you down real quick. You know, things start happening, you know. The fear of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That'll get you humble. It says the quality of being humbled, humility, modesty, sweetness, lowness, small stature. Yeah, not boastful. You know? We talk about Esau's pride. Hell. You know, you Jakes are proud, man. And give Esau a run for his money. All right? When it comes to pride, it says lowness, small stature, insignificance, baseness, littleness of mind, lowly, humble, literally on the ground. Wow. Let's get some scriptures here. This is Philippians 2 and 3. It says, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory. We went into that word vainglory. It says, but in lowliness of mind, meaning humbleness, let each esteem other better than themselves. Right. It says, look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Take care of each other. All right? we're living in a time where it's about to get extra hard, man. All right, and brothers gonna need help. Brothers gonna need help each other because everybody's gonna be calling on the Lord. And that's why the Lord put certain brothers in certain situations so that they can be helps to somebody else, maybe, or somebody for to help them. That's how the Lord worked. But we come into some times where it's gonna pay to be prepared, for these times. And that starts first and foremost, all right, with the fear of the Lord, man. All right. It says, look not every man on the things of his own. Yeah, being stingy. A lot of Israelites are stingy. You got Israelites selling prayers, breakdowns, all types of stuff, man. Changing the doctrine just to get some money. All right. You got a lot of stuff, a little sneaky stuff happening. It says, but every man also on the things of others. Let this mind be in you, which is also in Hamashiach Yahushai. This is verse 14, Philippians chapter 2, verse 14. Do all things without murmurings and disputings. And there's a lot of that going on. It's almost like you just can't keep, they used to say that word, you could take a nigga out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of nigga. Hey, the scriptures tell you to be renewed by the spirit of your mind, man. All right, these Israelites, it's like they brung the ghetto inside the truth. They brung niggerdom, that same shit that they rebuke and try to talk about. Well, they doing the same stuff in the truth these days. All right, they display behavior, that kind of behavior, man, and everybody sees it. The boasting, the bragging, the back and forth, talking crap, calling names. That's all the shit that's in the world, man. That came from the world. This is Matthew chapter 15 and 11. It says, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out the mouth, this defileth a man. Yeah. Every idle word, right? There's going to be a whole lot of Israelites. See, things be happening because of your mouth, man. You offend one of these little ones. It says, I'll skip down. Let me read verse 11 again, Matthew 15 and 11. And it says, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out defileth a man. What comes out of the mouth defileth a man. So the things that you say, right? It says, I'll go to verse 12. It says, then came his disciples and said unto him, knowest thou that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying? But he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father have not planted shall be rooted up. That's right. Let them alone, they be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into a ditch, man. Yeah, so there's a lot of men pleasers, a lot of blind leaders of the blind. You know, you go back on the situation whenever I forget which camp it was, but those guys they was talking about how a lot of their people went to go get the JAB. All right, they were willing to follow this camp or this head, willing to follow him to their death, man. And that's what you got going on in Israel. A bunch of stuff like that be happening. You know, pretty much the fear of men demon. You know, it says, then answered Peter and said unto him, declare unto us this parable. And Yahushua said, are ye also without understanding? Verse 17. And here's my point getting down here. It says, do not ye understand that whatsoever entereth at the mouth goeth into the belly and is cast out into the draught? Yeah, you got to use the bathroom. It says, but those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart. See, these things it says, these things come forth from the heart. Now, this is written in red letter. And they defile the man. It says, but those things which proceedeth out of the mouth, the things that you say, how you treat people, those things were inside of your heart the whole time. Whenever you was dealing with such and such or dealing with this, like you went through high holy days and everything with these things inside your heart towards this individual. That's how a bunch of Israelites are. It's like the world is in Israel. It's like you can't take the hood out of this shit. Like everybody got to be, even from the way we talk and everything, man. You just gotta be a ninja, man. No matter how you try to make it sound good, it's nigga activity. You know? It says, but those things which proceed out of the mouth come from the heart, and they defile the man. Yeah. It says, for out of the heart proceedeth evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile the man. That's right. So those are the things that defile the man. You know, what you say. It's how you say it too. What you know, like, because different tones and things like that, you know, you know, they carry a message too. Our ears are privy to things like that. And you could be saying something totally, like, being a total asshole, you know, but at the same time smiling and acting like everything's good, but you're just being an asshole. I've seen people like that a lot. You know, you carrying something on your heart, and then you just can't help it but to say it. And you might say it out of time, and you might, you know that's why we pray to the Lord to keep our mouths, you know, but we setting a lot of fires in this earth, man, with our mouths, man. What was that, James, right? It said the mouth setteth on fire the course of nature, man. Yeah, this is James chapter 3, verses 1. My brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. Yeah. You know better, you do better. It says, for in many things we offend all. If any man offend not in word, he the same is a perfect man. That's right, because you're going to offend somehow. And able also to bridle the whole body. But guess what? We're not perfect. All right? That's why we got to pray, man. We got to continue to just do the best we can, man. And pray to the Lord help us, man. It says, behold, we put bits in the horse's mouths, that they may obey us, and we turn them about their whole body. Behold, also the ships, which though they be so great, are driven of fierce winds, yet they turned about with a very small helm, whithersoever the governor listed. Even so, the tongue is a little member, and boasteth great things. Right, the tongue is a little member, all right, but it boasts great things. Like your mouth start and end wars, man. I'm talking about whole wars, like people dying just from what you say, some things that you say, man. You know, it says, even so the tongue is a little member and boasts of great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth. Yeah, I like how they put that. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth, man. You see? Because the tongue, the way you say stuff to people, how you treat people, you know, that matters, man. That matters to the Lord, too. You know? The Lord will move on people like because of stuff like that, man. All right, so we got to be humble out here, man. It says, and the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body. It defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature. Everything that happens after that, it set it on fire. It pushed you in the direction that you didn't want to go. And it is set on fire of hell. That's right, man. The discipline of the tongue. It says, for every kind of beast and birds and serpents and things in the sea is tamed and have been tamed of mankind, but the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison. Yeah, man. You know, certain things that you say, you know, it catch up with you, man. You might be saying this, that, and the other about somebody, and then all of a sudden, now everybody's saying something about you. See, what goes around comes around. You know? That's why we just must pray and ask the Lord to forgive us daily, man, because we just don't even know. Ask the Lord to put a guard on your mouth, man, on your thoughts. You know, pray and fast, man. All right, because we're living in a time where your tongue, I think the elder Monatazak, the bishop elder Monatazak, he said he put a video out saying, don't let your mouth, roughly paraphrasing, write a check that your ass can't cash, something like that. But it starts with the tongue, man. Things that you say, name calling, stuff like that, calling people. You know, you might have called them this, you call them that. You know, but you could have just you could have did it differently. All right. Now you done set on fire the course of nature. Now somebody trying to fight you or something, you know. Now you done got into a fight at the camp. in front of everybody because of some name calling. That's how quick it set on fire the course of nature, man. It says, for every kind of beast and the serpents and things, it says, but the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil full of deadly poison. Therewith we bless the Most High, even the Father, and therewith we curse men, which are made after the similitude of power. Out of the same mouth proceedeth blessings and cursings. My brethren, these things ought not so to be. Doeth a fountain send forth at the same place sweet water and bitter? Can a fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries? Either a vine figs, so can no fountain both yield salt water and fresh. See? So it's basically telling you, like, no, man, that don't work, that don't match. It says, who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness and wisdom. That's right. The way you speak to people, man. It says, but if you have bitter envy and strife in your hearts, which a bunch of Israelites do, glory not and lie not against the truth. Yeah, make excuses as to why you treating people the way that you treat them. All right, because you have bitter and envyings inside your hearts, man. It says, lie not. Don't be lying on the truth. Don't be lying on the Lord, acting like the Lord. Well, this, that, well, this. Well, they did it. I could do it too. Well, you're not them, right? You're not them. It says, this wisdom descendeth not from above, but it's earthly. That's what it's a whole lot of earthly shit going on in Israel, man. You're just worldly, a bunch of worldly lights. You know, debates and all this other bullshit. You know, you might as well just be in the world still, man. It says sensual, devilish. Yeah, this wisdom descendeth not from above, but it's earthly, sensual, devilish. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work, man. A bunch of confusion. New people watching the channel, all of a sudden, that's all they can hear. They didn't come there for that. They came to learn the name of the Lord. They came to learn about the Lord. Not about your beefs or whatever the hell you got going on. Yeah, so it says, but the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy. Ain't no mercy out here in these streets, man. And good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace. That's right, man. So who's making peace, right? Just a few scriptures, man, that's all. Went into those words. Humility, lowly, humble. It says literally on the ground. It says modesty, humility, being humble. You know? Vainglory, we went into that one. Vainglory, because just a bunch of worldly lights. It says worthless glory, undue pomp. Pomp goes into that word pride. We looked that up. And a lot of pride in Israel. Hey, but you know, the fire will prove your patience. All right. The fire is coming, man. You know what? We gotta stay prayed up. We gotta be humble. Because guess what, man? Any day, like, it can be us on that side. It could be you. You know what I'm saying? You know. What if we don't know if we are part of the elect? That's another reason to just be humble, man. Pride, it says unreasonable self-esteem. Haughtiness, overbearing treatment of others. Overbearing treatment of others. Yeah, how you treat people, man. Like, how do you treat people, man? You know? Haughtiness, overbearing treatment of others. Anyway, shalom.